Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing... Is that, oh, okay, it's supposed to be like that. Got confused for a second. This is going to be November reading for Aries. So astrological, horoscope, zodiac, whatever. Aries. So this is for anyone who has Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus in Aries. If you're being affected by Mars retrograde in Aries, this would be the reading for you. I'm using this Lucy Cavendish Blessed Bee deck. I'm using the Lover's Oracle. I'm using the Thoth deck. I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. And I'm also using the Mini Rider-Waite. So the way that this reading works, this is an ancestor overview. This section is for the viewer, the querent, or whoever you're cross-watching for. There's a past, a present, and a near future. So this could be November, or it could be any other near future time. This is Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles energy. So this is the core, the modus operandi, the inner directive. This is the emotions and psychic intuitions. This is thoughts, perceptions, and communication. And this is manifestation, the physical body, resources, money, and stuff like that. And then I have two cards here as like advice. This is going to be the ancestor section. So this is near ancestors, middly remote ancestors, and ancient ancestors. These cards are inverted just because it helps keep me from reading them before I'm ready to read them. I mean, I've turned them upside down. If it was inverted, the picture would be up. So they got pictures on the back side of them. This is ancient ancestors over here. So it could be parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, or something more like within the last couple hundred years, within 1,000 or so years, and this could be tens or hundreds of thousands of years. Or it could be both, because all times are now and things are cyclical, so it could be like a double-layered sandwich over there. Then I have two cards down here that match these ones. This is going to be a wrap-up of the whole reading. So I found that I like it best when I start with the person, so that we're going to start with Aries themselves or yourself. I just want to double check and make sure that's actually focused where I've got it. It looks alright. Alright, so in the past we have the Three of Cups. Mercury in Cancer in the Wands section. In my music deck, this is Party All the Time. Eddie Murphy with, what's that guy's name? Rick James! Now what's interesting is that a lot of the themes that are coming up have to do with root and sacral energy, and I see that here. This is a lighter orange, sort of like a mac and cheese orange, or like a school bus yellow. But it's not quite the bright golden yellow of the solar chakra. So we're dealing with... this is more of an orange-red, or a reddy orange too, so it's basically the sacral chakra. Now, throughout most of November, we're going to be Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio rules the genitals. Sacral chakra has to do with birthing of creativity and projects. It's the fuel for the fire that burns in the solar chakra. It's sort of the stem cell, the spiritual stem cells of what it is that you are and what you have to express. So we're seeing, and although there's fire there, there's also water because it has to do with like the flow of energy in the universe and how it condenses and forms into a standing wave. Kind of like how these three, the three fates here, or three maidens, are condensing into what looks like one unit of space. But anyway, Mercury in Cancer. Quicksilver. In the heart space, we have the World. So this looks like one of these girls who got a little bit drunk and started dancing around. It's this girl over here in this sort of light gray robe. She got a little tipsy and her robe fell off and she's like, woo! But there's also this idea of this is a portal and this is a 3 and this is a 21. There's a factor of 7 here. Right? On the 7th drink that made the disrobing commence. But the World here is Saturn energy. I was like, okay, what am I getting? And I'm like, just a wall of silence. I guess it's not going to make sense until I flip over more cards. Alright. In the thoughts and perceptions, it's a little bit of like the world is my playground. Perhaps a little bit of lack of awareness of the surroundings. So in the thoughts, we have the Hanged Man, Neptune energy. Now, Neptune is retrograde and Mars is retrograde in Aries. This card is coming in upright, though. But we have the Hanged Man. So the man himself is upside down. The masculine is hanging. Now, notice with these other cards, there's a lot of blue going on here. But he's got this solar energy at his head, and then this root energy on his legs. This looks like OT. The one true. Although it's not a pair here, it's a triplet. Hangman energy. We have a 12. We have a 3, a 21, and a 12. So it's 7 and a 4. This is like I'm kind of stalled out and waiting for these cosmic downloads. I'm not sure what to think about things. The blood's rushing to me head. In the physical plane, we have the 4 of Swords. Give me a break. Won't you give me a break now? Jupiter in Libra. Interesting. Capricorn energy and Jupiter in Capricorn. Libra energy. So starting on October 29th, Venus and Mercury are going to be in Libra. Mercury's still going to be retrograde. But there's this idea of I need to nurture myself in order to clear my thoughts. It's like, I've heard that hanging upside down off a tree is a good cure for a hangover. And I'm not saying that, you know, that there's that Aries who's watching this is an alcoholic or has a tendency to party out of control. It's this idea of I mean, it could be, but there's also an undercurrent of I'm doing some activity that is distracting and supposed to be fun, and it makes me feel like I'm the king of the world. Like, there's no consequences for me when I'm in this state. But the next day, I've got a killer headache when I stop distracting myself, and I end up just being kind of sick from it. Truth be told, I don't know how long I can keep this up. So it's one of those like robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of energies. I'm avoiding something by essentially playing dress up. I'm putting on a performance. I seem to be carefree to the world around me. Right, that my illusion is one of revelry. Because I want to cover any insecurities deep in my sacral chakra. Alright. So in the present we have 9 of Cups inverted. So the dream yields to nightmare. So we've got that blue energy that's here, but it changes into this solar energy, right? In my core, I can feel this emotional drain of trying to keep up appearances. You know, it's like I was my glittery cup didn't really have anything in it, and now I have instead of 3 of them, I have 9 of them, and they're all full of like stale beer and dried glitter, and somebody puked in one of them. So this dream card of a 9 of Cups, becomes a nightmare in this position. So we have Jupiter in Pisces, so Jupiter energy again. And Neptune retrograde. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups inverted, so we're doubling down here. Right? I can't go anywhere with this hot mess of feelings. I am stuck in a quagmire. Quicksand. Quicksilver quicksand. Knight of Cups, Aquarius, and Pisces. So again, we have Neptune retrograde and also Uranus retrograde. There's a shift in consciousness. Like, oh, I'm in a losing battle with my feelings. I'm overwhelmed by my feelings. I'm in over my head. Because I've never learned how to tread the water, I just avoided the pool altogether. I never learned how to swim. So we have the 2 of Pentacles inverted. See, I'm avoiding the pool. I'm over here on the land. I don't even have my bathing suit on. And he's all orange and red. There's a root problem in the sacral issue of being entirely afraid of the water. So 2 of Pentacles, of course it is. Jupiter in Capricorn. Really doubling down on these Jupiter energies. Now, Capricorn and Jupiter went direct in September. So it's interesting to see them upside down, but here it's, you know, in the thought process, we have this, again, very blue in the background. I've taken too much time, you know, going between avoiding my feelings and taking a nap to avoid my feelings and doing other stuff to avoid my feelings, that now I'm not being given a choice. And I feel like the Hanged Man and this guy are very similar. 2 and 12. Right? It's sort of like the cosmic download that came down is you don't have a choice. The retrograde, and really the retrograde is Mars, Neptune, Uranus. You're going into the dunk tank, because now it looks like he's in a tank of water. It's similar with this guy. He's sitting on top of the dunk tank. And this is the, you know, different outfit, but also in the dunk tank. So I'm going to check my focus because I've been switching the camera on and off a little bit. Oh, now the battery's going to die. Well, maybe I can get a little bit more out of it. It's probably worse. Let me see. I guess that's alright. In the material world, we have the star. So we go from 4 to 8. This is 17 breaking down to 8. This is Aquarius energy. There was already Aquarius energy. So look at this. In order to heal, she's going to dump more water into that pool. That is hilarious. You're already wet. It doesn't matter if you're going to get more wet. So it's a cleansing, emotional cleansing. You'll be scrubbed clean and then you'll be all sparkly. Interesting. There's hope for things to change in the material world. I also just heard abandon hope all ye who enter here, but that's sort of a... That's a little bit of a joke because it's kind of like that's how it might feel, but you're about to get scrubbed. So this potential future here. 8 of Wands in the challenge position. I almost said Swords. So we have 8 again. Mercury in Sagittarius. So there's Jupiter energy again. Okay, it's the South Node. Mercury rules Gemini, which is the North Node. So a lot of this Jupiter energy is the nodal energy, which makes sense because we have the world here. Right, from the top to the bottom of the world, the nodes. Communication and directing your fire energy to a distant point. This is fast movement or communication. Now I see Wands in the Wands finally, which is good, but there's a sort of a delay. It's like Mercury retrograde is helping to extend a delay in forward movement. It's like you're not going anywhere, you're still crusty. The King of Swords. It's like in your heart you have a firm grasp of the truth. Right? You might be drunk and half naked, but look at this, the star energy, and then turn around and now King of Swords. I just heard Tilda Swinton. It's Tilda Swinton. there's a balance in your ability to a maturity in your communication. Balance, maturity, not overlordship, magnanimity. It's not rulership either. A stewardship of the truth. You're maintaining the truth in your emotional content. What's the king? King of Swords. Capricorn and Aquarius. So those same energies again. And the Six of Cups. So we've got the thoughts and the emotions are a little bit scrambled. But in order to navigate these emotional waters, your little life preserver actually is the truth itself. You feel like you're drowning, you have to hold on to the truth. And the Six of Cups, which came up in previous readings, look at all this golden friggin' solar energy. The sun in Scorpio, but it's coming in inverted. I need to go deeper into my past. I need to think about what started off my aversion to emotional content, right? When I was a little kid, I was friendly and loving and emotional. But when I was older, I wanted all the feels to myself. And I couldn't get it. And it made me sick. So I'm going deeper into the secrets, to the secretions, to the darkness of the underbelly of what it is that's contributing to being afraid of emotions. Now, this could also be an emotional block. It could be the ego. But I see it more like during November, the scorpionic Neptune energies with the nodes are forcing Martian energy, which is ruled by Aries, to, I was going to say, to suffer the truths of their emotions. All right, so I was saying when the battery died that Mars, aka Aries, is being forced to suffer the truths of their emotional content. But what that really means is not to suffer, but really to face them. To be not afraid. To have a bird's eye view of what's contributed in the past. And here we are ending the nightmare. Nine of Swords inverted. So a dream card inverted becomes a nightmare. The nightmare card inverted is turning it back into a dream. I'm no longer afraid of my emotions. Nine of Swords. Mars in Gemini. So that mercurial energy. Like about face. It's no longer going to haunt me in my sleep. Alright, so let's look at the advice here. A blessing for healing of injury or illness. 42, breaking down to 6, which is healing. I also have 4, which is the Emperor number, and 2, which is a High Priestess, which is psychic energy, which is technically the moon, but I see it as Pisces, which is... Why did I was going to say November? Neptune in retrograde. Mars in retrograde. So again, there's a slight delay or confusion in the healing of the injury or illness. I need more grounding. Right? These sticks are stuck in the ground. They're not flying off anywhere. I need to be grounded in my meditation. And this card here is basically this card, right? I'm dreaming about my past, and it's been a nightmare. But this is the opportunity for healing. It's just a little bit of a delay. And then we have a blessing from your ancestors, 16. So 16 is the tower, which is Aries energy. But it's coming in as an internal tower. I'm restructuring myself. I have this gold energy from the core, and I have this blue energy for the swords energy, that perceptions, that communication. And then there's some purple and indigo up here. I'm opening up my higher chakras. I'm going to see this maturity, right? Kingship indicates balance and maturity. It says a blessing from your ancestors. So the stuff that's coming down from your ancestors, they have participated and been caught up in this emotional gridlock. And they're sort of from their afterlife or distantly in the other time-space area that they're in, they're hoping that you are able to resolve it, and by contact with the being in the same soul group or having the same DNA lineage, they're connected, and they're like, please, please, yes, we're giving you all the good vibes we can so you can overcome this. Combined with healing. 16 and 6 is 22, which is 11 twice. Divine timing. Balance. And there's a butterfly here for transformation. Breaking down to 4, which is the Emperor number and also a foundation. They want you to land on your feet. Alright, so let's look at the ancient ancestors here. The Devil. Okay, so that's where all that Capricorn energy is coming from. And look at this, meiosis and mitosis. It's literally in something that's in the DNA. It's part of the material world. So Saturn, Capricorn energy. There's 3 planets in Capricorn. Saturn, Pluto, which rules Scorpio, and Sagittarius. To me, this is also indicating like an engram, like trauma that lives in the cells. Like muscle memory. But in this case, not of sports, but of trauma. We've sustained a physical injury. It's like, I'm going to smack you so hard your grandchildren will be born bruised. So here's the 5 of Swords here. It's called Defeat. 5 of Swords came up in Pisces reading, and I was saying how Pisces, with Neptune retrograding in Pisces, and Aries reading with Mars retrograding in Aries, was probably going to have a similar theme. Look at this. This looks like the Devil right here. The goat head with the pentacle. So Defeat. Venus in Aquarius. Interesting. I was hearing the Fool. Like, I pity the fool, or like somebody who's evil who's like, oh, you're such fools, I will get you, blah, blah, blah. But also when it was 15 and 5, those are pivot numbers. something was shifted. I shifted from communicating defeat to beating it into you. Right? I played the mind games with... Oh, here's the Fool right here. Aquarius energy, Uranus retrograde. Right? I sent you into a head spin because not only did I tell you I was going to beat you down just to psych you out, but I gave you that throwdown and sent you hurtling into a different environment. You didn't take that leap. I kicked you off the cliff. Which is probably why there's a... Like, I'm afraid to go swimming because I landed in a bucket of water. So we have the Knight of Discs. This is the King of Pentacles in this deck. Now, he came out in another reading already. I think it might have been Scorpio. He's got this force field that he can't get through to his solar center. Alright, so the kings in the Thoth deck are out riding. They're on a mission. Right? And I do feel like this Knight of Cups and this King are the same person. It's like... Again, like I said, the thing that was the lifesaver was the truth. His horse got upsot. And I saw that in another reading, I think... Oh, which one was it? It might have been Aquarius, but I'm not sure. I had an actual Knight of Pentacles with 2 horses on it fighting. Maybe it was Pisces that was on. It could have been Pisces. The 2 horses were fighting, and the Knight was inverted. And it was like he got tossed off his horse because the horses got scared and got knocked down a cliff. And that's exactly the same kind of energy I'm seeing over here, but it's not coming in the present, it's coming in the distant past. So it's almost like the Mars retrograding in Aries and the Neptune retrograding in Pisces are like snapshots of different time of the same issue. Right? This is examining the distant past for Pisces, and this is giving more information on the present for Pisces, and vice versa, which is kind of weird. Was he inverted? I think, yeah, he was inverted. King of Pentacles. Of course, Mars and Taurus. Or Aries and Taurus. Oh my god. Taurus is Venus energy, but it can also be the Hierophant. And I would say that because there's this sort of force field, I can't breach it. To me, it's like I can't get those psychic downloads, which makes sense because I have the Hangman over here in the present. Right? You knocked out my radio tower. You cut off my divine connection to the universe by injuring me so badly in the physical world that I'm completely out of balance now and having trouble manifesting. My wheat's not growing. And again, Uranus retrograde energy. Like, I don't know how to do stuff anymore. You bashed my head in. Mentally attacked, right? Berated so bad that you end up with a psychosis, and then also physically wounded in some way, causing a disconnect from the universe and inability to nurture, afraid of falling into the depths of water, because every time I try to come emotionally, I get this mental assault again. Alright, so this middle ancestry we have... Let's show these pictures first. There's a lot of indigo energy, attempting at transformation, wanting to be safe. A lot of orange sacral energy, and then cycles, right? I see these cycles repeating, right? This time could be over here for this other group, and this could be here. The things keep repeating until there's some kind of conscious resolution for healing. Like, please help us in our here because you're down here and we're still connected. A root problem. Very red. And then still affecting the third eye and the emotions, and then the crown energy as well. This is like a force field here. I want to feel protected and connected to both sides of me and not have anyone come in and attack. So reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that it all will work out for the best. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Ooh, that goes this way. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads. Okay. So this mental defeat is a projection. I am projecting into your mind that you're weak and you're a fool and I will defeat you. And I'm going to do it with the sword and cause this emotional mark on your genetic material that will continue to eat off your energy and feed it to me into future generations, whoever this malignant aggressor is who wants to steal energy so they can feel powerful. It sets up this, essentially the setup of the patriarchy. I'm gonna hit you to be dominant, and I'm gonna hit you because I want the candy that you're holding. And this projection is, I hate you because this. Not realizing that the projection that everything's fine is complete crap. So the shifting cycles and going with the flow is learning how to get into this water. And like, you're already wet, you're not dying, you're not going to drown. Hold on to this core truth and not the projection. All right, this isn't a drive-in movie theater over here. In the near past ancestry, we have the Ace of Rods. Very Mars phallic energy. It's like, I don't want to deal with these different trees. I want like one solid goddamn honking tree. You know, I don't want 8 rods. I want one big honking mother lode rod, and I'm gonna hit anybody that tries to take it away from me. But there's this veil, right? I can't connect Hanged Man, 4 of Swords. I can't connect to Source. And again, it's like I'm up in the sky. I don't want anything to do with the water that would feed life into the trees. Summer energy and fire energy. I just heard like walk softly but carry a big stick. My gun is bigger than your gun. But we have the 5 of Swords here again. This sunset here. It's sort of defeat, right? This is this guy, this force that's come in and beaten down this ancestral energy. Right? I'm going to be the king of the heap. I'm going to win. Notice there's a 6 here, which is not the healing. It's I'm perpetuating the cycle. I'm going to take from other people instead of being taken from. And it's one of those the cyclical abuser things, right? I'm going to strike first so nobody can strike from me. And it sets up this thing where the energy stealing dynamic is I will abuse the energy and resources I want out of you, but then whoever that is grows up, and in order to feel safe, they have to take energy from other people because they never learned how to nurture themselves. So we see, I think I'm solving the problem by becoming that which devoured me, and the healing has to come down here. This is the rise of the ego, and this is the resolution of the ego. Alright, so let's look at the wrap up here. So we have the Empress. So we have the nurturing and abundance here, right? I'm putting down my shield. I'm opening up to a larger vision. I'm becoming more comfortable with the dark. Now this is also the Empress, Venus energy. It relates back to, where was it? There was Taurus. I said, the Hierophant. I said this king was like the Hierophant inverted. No psychic downloads. And we see this 3 here. This is a low vibration of the Empress. Right? I'm creating abundance in revelry, but it's short term and you can drop off that high really quickly. I'm learning to create joy and abundance, but I don't know how to sustain it in a way that's healthy or useful. But now the answer with the healing, blessing to heal illness or injury, and this blessing from the ancestors, like we're rooting for you, literally rooting, the root issue, rooting all the way up the family tree. To nurture. Now, a lot of the time the Empress comes in as pregnant, and that's very much the sacral chakra, right? The pelvic bowl is full of creativity and renewed life, and this idea of I'm renewing myself after a death. And then we have sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Very much orange, but then also this crown energy behind it. Now this could be ready to be with somebody else, but it's very much the union of the self. The self and the inner child, the masculine energy, the feminine energy within you, the nurturing and the protecting energies, the nurturing and the protecting energies. And notice how it says sacred. The same base as sacred, sacral chakra. Right? I'm one with my own internal fuel. I'm able to create and have it flow up into my crown and my third eye and feel safe and comfortable, right? I mean, it looks like they're having sexy times, but they also look relaxed and like they're not in competition. They're working together and they're calm and easy about it. Nurturing each other if it's with somebody else, but also nurturing the self, right? Looking in the mirror and having the healing, the unifying force of the self with the emotions. Because it's essentially Mars is a masculine energy, has been wanting the Venus, the Empress, to come in and do the emotional work for him. I'm saying him because it's the masculine energy. And has been told repeatedly during this retrograde that he needs to do the work himself. And we see that happening here. And the ultimate result is that by healing the self, you connect back to the source, and the Venus energy is then able to come in, and the Mars energy gets what he wants, but not because he's saying, I just want to push it under the table and you can clean it up later. It's, I've done my work. Now we can meet in a place of openness and honesty in a way that's relaxed together and healing, right? The High Priestess and the Emperor together. I didn't really feel like saying it, but I'm going to say it. That Hierophant number that I was talking about, that cosmic downloads, it's also the marriage card, it's the Pope, but it's unity of spirituality and the material world. Okay? The Emperor, Mars energy, I'm just going to use this as a stand-in for the Emperor. The Emperor is the ruler of all the kingdoms. He's made his mark on being able to master the material world. And then he's a 4. He's Mars energy. And then the Magician, 1, is Mercurial energy, which has been popping up in this reading. Connected to the spiritual. Together, they make 5, which is the Hierophant number. And I see the Empress here. And I see the 2 here. And I see this grounded feminine energy. She's mystical. She's doing, forest core magic over there. This is the High Priestess in a very green aspect. And when the High Priestess and the Empress get together, they have a 5. They make up the Hierophant number. And these 2 that are grounded in the material and the spiritual, they come together, and this is what it is. It's a completion. Their energies are balanced, and they can unify. Right, so take that as personal unification for Aries, but it could also be relevant to relationships. If you want to get a personal reading, let me move my sign here. Nope. Okay. If you want to get a personal reading, I have a complete list of readings I have and how much they cost in the description box of my infomercial video, which is going to be linked below this. This reading is $77. If you add charms to any reading, it's $7 additionally. So if you added charms to this, it would be $84. That list in the description of my infomercial video also includes links to my merch and prints, Cafe Press, and DeviantArt. I have a Dark Night of the Soul style poetry book there, Lantern, and then 2 coloring books, Energy Forms and Draco Forms, on Amazon with the Kindle Direct Publishing. Lantern has a Kindle version, and I think it's like $3 or something like that. And then the paperbacks are all $7.99, or at least they should be. If they're not, then somebody's trying to rip you off. I also have a catalog that I made that has made-to-order items, like chapbook packs, which have little snippets of that poetry book in them. There's 9 different ones. There's little bits of stuff. I know that's not in focus, but there's one, and there's another one, and another one. So the chapbook packs are like a synchronicity stimulus packet. It's writing and images and numbers, basically like a little synchronicity stimulus. They're all randomized. I have digital portraits available, foam lotus like this over here, stuffed animals like these guys, individual drawings, that's the a la carte stuff, a couple of paintings. So once those are gone, they're gone. So all of that's listed there, or you can just email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com, and I'll get you all that information. If you want to energy exchange, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion, help keep this show on the road. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.